This is Why Am I a Mets Fan? A podcast hosted by Samantha Croston and Ashley Wenskoski.
Hi, everybody. Welcome into another episode of the Why Am I a Mets Fan podcast, extra innings version. That's Ashley Wenskoski. I'm Samantha Croston, and we are two sports reporters in Syracuse with a Mets and baseball podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. We're joining you after a couple days have passed since the Soto decision. Juan Soto is coming to the Mets. Now we're here to discuss the fallout and a couple other things that have been heating up. Hi, Ashley.
Hi. First of all, I'd like to say thank you all so much for watching and commenting and responding to our Juan Soto episode. That was a very exciting early morning hour here at the CNY Central studios on Sunday morning.
Sunday morning,
I should preface. But thanks so much for your engagement in that. We really appreciate it. Can't respond to all 800 comments, but we appreciate you guys, and we see you guys, and we read all of them. Anyways.
No flex, but...
Right. No flex on the 800 comments, but we appreciate you guys. Juan Soto fallout. You know, some people live for, I don't know, the Super Bowl, the college football playoff, and I like those things. But let me just tell you about the way that I live for baseball's winter meetings. I mean, there is not a time of year where there's more rumors and tantalizing scandals coming out of those meeting rooms, and I believe it's in Dallas. The rumors that have been coming out from the winter meetings are a delight. And we got Juan Soto, so.
Tantalizing is the most perfect chef's kiss word. They're tantalizing. Literally kissing all Yankees fans. Bye.
Good night.
No, but listen, just to start, okay, with the fallout, there's been something that's been on my mind since we recorded at 1 a.m. a few days ago. I cannot believe the amount of Yankees fans who are going on social media and saying, he was a sellout and he sold out for the money, and that $5 million made the difference. You guys need to, unfortunately, swallow an extremely big, uncomfortable pill. And that pill is that Juan Soto wanted to come to the Mets. He wanted to be a Met.
Yeah.
It wasn't about, and I'll tell you how I know that. Like, just think about, even for a second, I know it's not a perfect analogy, but even just think about, you know, the house that you grew up in.
Sure.
What's the first thing that comes to mind?
About the house that I grew up in? I mean, it's just your home. It's comforting. I mean, I had a big backyard. I don't know. Where are we going with this?
You remember the feelings and the memories that you made in the house. You don't remember how much it costs.
Right. No. Yeah.
He wanted to be in there because he wanted a new home.
Right.
It wasn't about the price.
And you know what? I'm pretty comfortable in saying he wanted to be in New York, and he was really going to go to whichever New York team made him feel more welcome, and he liked the deal more. I think he wanted to be in New York,
and it
was going to come down to one of those two teams and whichever one he liked more. I agree with you. The crash out on social media from Yankees fans.
Burning his journey? You guys burning his jersey?
Yeah.
You guys need therapy.
No, it's been worse than anticipated. I mean, do I blame you? I guess not. You don't really know how to deal with this failure. You haven't seen anything. You haven't really been through anything in your life. But
you haven't been through hardship.
No, but on a serious note, for just 1 second, I do find it interesting, and this is not to trash on these people because they're very reputable and very good at their jobs, but the media narrative, this is not Mets conspiracy, this is true. The media narrative surrounding this deal with even guys like a Buster Olney on ESPN and Jeff Passan to some extent has been critical of this deal. And I have a hard time believing that it would have been the same criticism if he signed with the Yankees. If he signed with the Yankees, everybody would have been like, oh, generational talent, superstar, biggest contract in baseball history. He signs with the Mets and everybody's like, this deal's terrible. I didn't say it was good. Nobody said it was a good baseball deal. Literally no one has said that. It's more so just Mets fans celebrating what this means for the franchise and what this means moving forward and for the future. I just think the media narrative around it, even with some of the top baseball analysts, is interesting.
It is. Like, let's just be clear. The Why Am I a Mets Fan podcast wholeheartedly believes that Uncle Stevie overpaid for Juan Soto.
Absolutely,
like,
he did.
We are firm believers in the fact that that was a bad deal.
But we're okay with that.
Because you like the shirt on the rack, man.
Sometimes you buy the luxury product.
Hell yeah, because it's better and you want it and it looks good and it feels good.
And did you overpay for the brand name? Yeah, you did.
You did.
You did.
But it was worth it.
It was.
Because of everything that it brought. Also, so that's the thing. I don't have an issue with that part of it. I just have an issue with the idea that it was all about the money, because then, and we're going to start going through all this right now, but there are so many other things, you guys, that are coming out in the coming days where Juan Soto was getting things added on and Steve Cohen was understanding what it was that he wanted. One other thing that came out when you talk about the media, and then we'll get into it, but I just have to go here for a minute. Who was it who said that Steve Cohen came in at the 11th hour and got this done, and that even that day, the Yankees were the front runner.
I believe it was Andy Martino. Don't quote me on that. I think Martino.
Whoever said that, I have to be honest, I'm also having an extremely tough time buying that. I am. I could see where it might have still been close up until that point, but going on my theory and my thesis, which is that he didn't just sign for the money and he really wanted to be a Met, and of all the meetings they had and the times that he met with Steve Cohen, I find it so hard to believe that he didn't already know he wanted to be a Met day of. That's shocking to me.
I agree, but it goes back to my point. He knew it was down to the two New York teams. He was going to pick one, and you know what? I'm going to say this as a compliment to the Yankees. He really couldn't lose. You pick either side. You know you have a chance of winning in the foreseeable future. You know it's a well-run organization. He was just going to go with the team that made him feel more comfortable and address, which is coming out now, some of the things that he wanted and needed off the field in a better sense. And that's what the Mets did.
Just to show Yankees fans a little mercy here, tell me if this is crazy to say, but listen, would you have preferred to get Juan Soto? Of course. No one's going to say that you didn't. But honestly, the Mets struck me as a team that was looking for a star, but had a lot of really good other pieces. The Yankees struck me as a team last year that, yes, made it to the World Series, but had like one or two really good guys, Soto included, and then 3 or 4 good guys. But I actually felt, what? Why are you already laughing?
No, I'm just laughing at my own joke.
You're a narcissist. She's crying, laughing at her own joke.
I was thinking about what you were saying, and it was leading me to what you were saying about the one good hitter. Luis Severino, the meme. Now you only got one good hitter.
That was really, really funny. But honestly, I'm not going to say they lucked out in not getting Juan Soto, but there was actually a lot of pieces they needed to fill, and now they have more money to do it.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say. You want to come at me, do it. But that's just one theory that I'd like to point out. They needed a little bit more, and now they can get it.
I don't disagree.
Okay, great. Okay, so Juan Soto fallout, let's just run through some of the things that are happening right now. There's a lot here. But we'll start with something that John Heyman said, where he said that the Yankees wouldn't budge on giving Juan Soto a suite at Yankee Stadium, feeling that it couldn't be done when Aaron Judge and Derek Jeter paid for theirs. That broke sort of recently.
It did.
Thoughts?
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Honestly, with the way the Yankees run their organization, with the tradition and the formalities, and then everybody's so buttoned up, nobody's fun over there. Sorry, on a serious note.
Mustaches and no beards and no fun.
And no facial hair and no names on the back of the jerseys.
Men with no facial hair freaks me the hell out.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not a facial hair guy.
Really?
I'm a girl. I'm not a facial hair girl.
Wow.
Yeah. Does that surprise you?
Completely.
I like the
you
clean
fun?
cut. Maybe not.
Would
I don't know.
Date a Yankee?
Maybe not. Anyways, so he couldn't get the suite, right? It came down to that, but there is a part of me that's like, all right, if Derek Jeter has to pay for his suite, yeah, Juan Soto, you probably got to pay for your suite. But I think that's a broader organizational run thing with the Yankees. Steve Cohen allegedly included a Citi Field suite for Soto's family in the deal, and allegedly a personal assistant to take care of all of Soto's family needs during the games. I mean, I think this shows you, right, that the family thing was, yes, it was the money, and it was the money, but the family thing was important to him on how we're going to be treated on game days. This is his entire career. It's the next 15 years of his career. He wants to make sure that it's run well. Also,
he included a personal assistant.
He said, here's your personal assistant.
Steve has fuck you money,
Stevie.
Man.
No, Steve does. I mean, Steve has fuck you money. Cohen hosted about 15 for the Juan Soto meeting, like the last one that I guess got it done, allegedly, at his house in Boca in Florida, including Scott Boras. He had Latin food served per John Heyman.
Smart. That's sincere.
And using his theater room, Cohen had his wife Alex, father-in-law, and the Mets traveling secretary who explained the Mets logistics and how they take care of families. I mean, I think that did come out, like, on a serious note. Alex Cohen's out here making moves. Alex Cohen is way more important than anyone thinks she is. She's out here. She's got the caterers. She's got the, you want to talk about a master class? Maybe Steve Cohen just put a master class on in hosting people.
Dude, Alex Cohen is the woman behind the man.
Oh, 100%.
Will Alex Cohen come on this podcast, please? I have a few questions for you.
Please.
No, I totally agree. I think that he was sincere in the way that he went about this. Here's another thing that came out that we wanted to discuss quick. The clarification was that the Yankees, and this is also via John Heyman, the Yankees were not given a chance to match the Mets winning Juan Soto bid. The Yankees had the option to keep bidding, of course, but they hit their limit at $760 million for 16 years, and there was no surety that Soto would have stayed a Yankee had they gone even higher. That last part of that sentence is really important.
The Yankees tapped out is what happened. And do I blame them for tapping out at this number? No, if you're done, you're done. I mean, this had to end somewhere, right, with the sweepstakes and the competition. But Jeff Passan said on the Michael Kay show, the Yankees, quote, are run like a disciplined business. Cohen runs his team like a fan that wants to win badly.
He is a fan that wants to win badly.
I mean, listen, if we're looking at last year, I don't know. It's almost even in the race, right? Yankees get a couple more wins between the disciplined business and the fan. We'll see who comes out on top in the next 10 to 20 years. It's interesting.
Here's another thing that I think is tough for Yankees fans to hear, but I also think that most of them are coming to this realization, or they will. Like, if they're in the 5 stages of grief, if I was a Yankees fan, I'd definitely be in anger right now.
There's a few pills to swallow, not just one.
I agree. But one thing is, so much of the time, Yankees fans who have been lifelong Yankees fans, and I get this, are like, it's between going to a team with OMG and Grimace or going to a team that's true-born, long-time winners. You were winners a century ago.
Juan Soto is 26 years old.
He does not care.
Do you know how old Juan Soto was in 2009? First of all, I was 9 in 2009, so that means Juan Soto must be like 12.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Juan Soto is really not, I mean, there's something to be said for the tradition. I don't want to trash on it entirely. It is like an admirable organization, top to bottom, and the history and the tradition. But you haven't won anything since 2009. Get back to me.
I'll have
Call
my people talk to your people about that. But I totally agree. Listen, he's 26, man. Like, you were winning World Series. He was like going down a slide in his backyard. Like, I just don't think he cared about that in the way that people
He was 11 or 12.
Right. Okay, let's move on unless you have anything else to say on the Juan Soto beat. Maybe let's read the Jenna Ashland tweet. That's a banger.
We have some tweets of the week because we had to for this occasion. Jenna Ashland, our girl, she said, quote, I still can't believe we're living in a timeline where the Mets have fuck you money. So thankful, so grateful, never taking anything for granted. F you, Jeff Wilpon.
That's important too.
What a heater. And then this was my favorite crash out. So that's the Mets. I have to highlight my favorite Yankee crash out from @NYY_takes. Phenomenal content. At the same time, losing Soto is a stunning organizational failure. You offered similar dollars and the guy went to the fucking Mets. Shohei Ohtani wanted nothing to do with you. Yoshinobu Yamamoto rejected your $300 million. Why do so many great players not want to play for the Yankees? It's because they're not really the Yankees anymore. They're just another big market team. The current generation of players didn't watch 2009, never mind the late 1990s dynasty. Long ago history only goes so far, Yankees. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Long ago history only goes so far. You using that from now on? Quote of the month.
Yes.
No, but listen, ultimately, I think that's what it came down to. I think he wanted a different culture. He wanted a different home. And the point is, now we're moving on and we're looking forward.
Which brings us to
Juan Soto is a Met. And now we're trying to figure out who else is going to be. But first, we'll do the luxury tax threshold thing just to say it. The Mets, believe it or not, are still below the first luxury tax threshold. Uncle Stevie is not close to being done yet. He's still got a lot to go here. Mets 2025 payroll post Juan Soto contract. Here we go. Before Soto, it was $182 million. After Soto, it was $233 million. And the payroll was $314 million last year. That's astonishing when you say it out loud. It really is.
Yeah. Luxury tax is projected to be $241 million. If they hypothetically re-sign Alonso, that's around $30 million a year. Manaea around $30 million a year would be around $296 million. The Yankees payroll last year, for context, was $308 million, and they already had $229 of that committed this year. So with Soto, with that 50-ish million a year, they would have been up to $278 million before having a built-out roster or a built-out bullpen. So I'm not calling the Yankees poor. Evidently, no one's poor in this equation. This is lots of money being talked about.
Besides us.
It would have, I guess, hindered the Yankees, besides us, right? It would have hindered the Yankees.
I was like, that's funny, laugh.
I had a delayed reaction. It would have hindered the Yankees a little bit more, I guess, with the luxury tax phenomenons in the Mets. All those Uncle Stevie and the Steinbrenners have shown many a time that they don't really give a damn about the luxury tax. So the Mets are not close to being done. But I guess what that does highlight is like, everybody's going around, Juan Soto, oh, okay, you have all this money tied up. The New York Mets went to the NLCS last year on a rebuilding year. We're 2 wins away from the World Series on a year where they were carting around $100 million, give or take, in Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander contracts of guys that didn't even play for the team anymore. You want to give Uncle Stevie that $100 million back and give it to guys who can play for the team? You better watch your mouth.
It's going to be a problem. I think you should be Steve Cohen's agent. You better watch the way you speak to Uncle Steve. You should be so lucky to go into his movie theater. Okay, moving on. How do you feel about this? True or not true?
Sure.
Sean Manaea is a need. Pete Alonso is a want. Agree or disagree?
I kind of agree. No, I agree. I agree because I'd like to focus on pitching. All right, the recent Mets moves in pitching have not tantalized me. They have not thrilled me. Clay Holmes, for instance,
No
like
T-words.
we're gonna make him a starter. I don't know how I'm feeling about that. All right, I mean Frankie Montas, I guess sure, but I need a bona fide pitcher that is going to wow me. I would like it to be Sean Manaea.
I like when you start laughing so hard that you start to tear up.
Right. Right. No crying in baseball.
Okay.
Anyways, I would agree Sean Manaea is a need, but I would like to say something, and we can talk about Alonso after this. I have been seeing some projected Mets lineups recently on MLB Network in the last few days with the addition of Soto, and I'm not going to lie, without Alonso, I was looking at the lineup, and I was kind of
You weren't feeling very tantalized?
ooh, yeah, I wasn't feeling very tantalized, right? You got the big three up top, Lindor, now Soto, Vientos, and then you got the guy, but without Alonso in that 4-5 spot, I was kind of like,
Needing a that sound. Need that sound as my ringtone. Need that sound as my alarm.
I'm calling
When you call me, when you text me, I need that song to go off.
All right.
Wow.
Anyways, we need to lock in.
Yes, I agree that they could use a little bit of juice in the caboose. They need they need some more pieces in the lineup, and they don't have it all yet.
We're so funny.
But they're
I know you guys like us for our personality.
But they're gonna get to it. And here's the other thing. Let's go back to pitching for a second. Garrett, I just have to know one more time. Is
Crochet.
it is Crochet?
Yep.
Okay, just happy I didn't mess
Got ahead
that up. Okay, Garrett Crochet. The Mets and Yankees are reportedly among the most aggressive suitors. I am so happy to hear that.
You love
Ice
Garrett
in my
Crochet.
veins. I have liked him since the All-Star game.
I
I
know.
was literally watching at the All-Star game. I was like, he would be a perfect fit here.
Yeah.
He was throwing heaters.
Yeah.
He would be so good. He could be good in any capacity. I really think they can make him almost anything they want him to be.
Yeah.
Just very versatile, a good player, and he was playing for an ass team.
Yeah.
He wants a new home. Let's give him one.
Yeah, and I think everybody's in agreement, right? The Mets need a front of the line, front of the rotation guy. I mean, Severino going to the A's, we didn't even touch on that. For some reason, the Oakland A's decided to give Severino the biggest contract they've ever given a player. I mean, good for you, I guess. Now you got to play over in wherever the hell they're playing these days. Not Oakland. I think it's Sacramento next year. Anyway, but Andy Martino said that he is sensing increased optimism around a Mets and Manaea reunion. He noted that the two sides love each other. They love him so much, they might be willing to stretch a little. And I believe that. I believe that the Mets want Sean Manaea back. I believe David Stearns, I mean, they kind of, right? Jeremy Hefner and David Stearns facilitated the turnaround of his career. Bring him back. They want him back. I know they do.
Bring him back. Okay, anything else? Pete Alonso reportedly is not on the Yankees radar via SNY. Could that be actually
I don't
true
know.
and
I don't know
possible?
how I feel about that. I've said for
How
a
could that be
while that he
possible?
seems like he fits as a Yankee. I don't know. Maybe they don't like the price. David Stern said yesterday we'd love to bring Pete back, and he said if the Mets have the money for him. David Stern said I think ownership has consistently determined there's going to be resources when we need them.
But this is the problem. Like, I would be so frustrated and angry if I was a Yankees fan, because I feel like the Yankees, they're just too late, or they're not showing interest in the people they should be showing interest in, or they show interest in the people that they shouldn't want. And the perfect example of that is this crazy ass thing you have here where Brian Cashman said that the Yankees had a Zoom call with Blake Snell. Then we're told things were moving fast. You got to make an offer. They said they couldn't sign both Snell and Juan Soto. So they're like, we need to hold off for a minute. Boom, Snell's a Dodger, and now you don't have Juan Soto either. Sucks to be you.
Now you lost twice. Sucks to be you. Brian Cashman also said this week that losing Juan Soto won't push the Yankees to spend, quote, like drunken sailors. Brian Cashman, who's that quote directed at? You a little resentful over there? Because I know who you might be talking about.
Like,
we get it. You're house poor.
They're
not house poor. They're not
really
house poor.
not.
It is a
They're
joke.
really not.
I want everyone to know that's a joke.
Okay, great.
But all I have to say is, on a serious front, if I was a Yankees fan this week, forget about Soto. I'm just not feeling too hot. From what I'm hearing from Brian Cashman, not feeling intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I guess it might make Yankees fans feel good that he said that, because now you don't want to see them double down and start paying extra money for players who they shouldn't want or shouldn't be spending as much money on. But still, I'd be upset right now if I was a Yankees fan, and I guess we'll just leave it at that. Last but not least, For our Dodgers fans, the Roki Sasaki sweepstakes has begun, and buckle up because this could be sort of a slow burn here. Dodgers are still the favorites, but there are some other players in the mix to be aware of.
Yes, via Jim Bowden and MLB Insider, Roki Sasaki's agency is, quote, very high on Mets pitching coach Jeremy Hefner's ability to develop pitching. Sasaki is said to value endorsement opportunities, winning, and pitching development as he makes his decision. Something that's also kind of surfaced today with him is it's been a concern as to whether or not with the media, I guess he said some media concerns in Japan. I didn't really look into that too deeply, but, is New York the best fit for him? Maybe he fits better at a smaller market team. Now, that's not the Dodgers, and it's not the Mets, and it's not the Yankees. So it's probably not the team that's going to pay him, but we'll see what happens with Sasaki. I feel like I would be surprised if the Mets really targeted Sasaki. I think he's going to be a Dodger. I really do.
I think he'll be a Dodger too, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them chase him a little bit. But mostly just because I feel like they're kind of chasing everybody right now.
Yeah.
They're on a high. They got Soto.
Who don't the Dodgers chase? So we'll see what happens with Sasaki, and we'll see what happens for the rest of the winter meetings. Maybe we'll be back this week if some other things break. The winter meetings end on Thursday. But just for the record, and to close this out, you can give me the owner that spends like a drunken sailor every day of the week.
Every day of the week.
Twice on Sundays.
Twice on Sundays. You can find us anywhere, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. The handle is all the same, @WhyMetsPod. Steve Cohen got it done. He signed Juan Soto. Now we'll just have to see who else becomes a Met. Keep your noties on. We might come back here later on. Could be on a Thursday or a Friday. Keep the noties turned on, because if something big happens and we're in the mood, we're going to come back here and do the same damn thing.
Only if we're in the mood.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here when we see you.